Hey yo, what's up? My name is Tom Misery. You are on my channel Miser14, and I'm here doing a review of Iyanla Fix My Life, The Mitchell Family, Part 3. This is a conclusion of the three-part series that happened this season of Mitchell Family, and it wasn't much on it. It was mostly about Melvin and Marvin, Kizzy and LaWanda, and then they had a group thing at the end. So let me just break down Melvin and Marvin real quick. All right, so I continue from what last week. Melvin broke down. He had a mental breakdown, emotional breakdown. Was going off. He wanted to leave. Everything. He said he don't want to allow himself to be disrespecting myself, allowing you to think I'm disrespecting myself and being here and all that stuff like that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. He said you want me to hear to call on him, to be there for him, and baby him for what he going through, and I had to accept that. No, I'm not gonna accept that. So y'all said I wouldn't. I told you I want you to call him. I never said to call him. I just want you to get a better understanding of what's going on, to speak the truth, to heal. It's all about the healing because what he's going through was nothing about you. It was his experience. So it was nothing about you, but we got to do it differently. You came here for healing. You came here to get what to do differently. So give me the chance to help you. But we have to do this. Stay in the process. It's on you, but stay in the process in this situation. But we got to get this done. So let's get the healing going. And he basically misunderstood what Iyanla was doing at that time. Yes, he did misunderstand, and he did took it the wrong way what she was doing because she didn't ask you to. You have to accept it, or so she just wants you to understand where Marvel was coming from. So like that. But we all figured out it's all about anger that he had, a hurt and anger that he went through, that he need to explain to why it would better understand why he broke down like that. And now it gave us the better understanding and why Melvin did flip out the way he did. And now we understand that where he's coming from. I understand where Melvin coming from now more than before, because I said, what was this breakdown for? It's like it was something in him that was really causing him just to have this figure emotional reaction like that. So came back the next day, he started to stay, and she ready to have us sit down with Melvin. It was time for him to have his one-on-one time to really understand his pain, his hurt, and where he coming from, and what caused the breakdown between him and Marvin. Because him and Marvin is the youngest too, and they gay, and they should be really closer than anyone else, but they're not. And we find out why. All right, so yeah, he basically said that he went along with Marvin request of denying himself to protect Marvin. Remember last week Marvin told him to not, he told him not to tell anyone we were brothers because he don't want nobody to know he's gay, because he battled himself because he himself is gay. So he was kind of judging him for being who he is, but not understanding and not accepting his identity. Now, but it took one step further, is that also Marvel was asking Melvin to basically not be gay when he allowed him, because people think it's friends, and not be gay because he himself is still battling his gayness. So being Marvin being gay, he want Marvin not to be gay or not to act the gayness, so people could not make a correlation and think that he was gay himself, Marvin. Now, as people started to notice that they was brothers, he noticed brothers, then it started acting funny, because at this time Melvin felt hurt because he was doing this because he felt he was protecting Marvin. He felt by doing this for Marvin, it will get it closer to Marvin, it will help him, and in his mind he felt like he was protecting Marvin because he couldn't protect Marvin when he was going through his molestation and sexual abuse. So he felt guilty that he wasn't there to protect Marvin when he was going through this. So by him feeling guilty, he decided to deny himself, self-denying his identity, his upbringing, to make sure Marvin is okay. But yet, he was killing himself. By killing himself, meaning going by somebody, following his shadow, going with everything to make sure he okay. No one took the time to make sure Melvin was okay. Nobody took the time to make sure did he feel good about this, what he was hurting. Nobody gave him time to talk to him, but he was there to protect Marvin all this long time. but yet Marvin was shitting on him, and I get to that in a minute because he was. It's like he did this for you. He sacrificed himself for you, but you didn't take the time to actually understand his feelings. But also, Melvin at the second time, he never expressed to Marvin how he felt because he became aggressive. Became aggressive. He became mean because he was treated and he was being diminished and being dismissed because he granted Marvin's wishes. And because he granted Marvin's wishes, it backfired on him because it didn't go along his way because Melvin was getting the brunt of it. He was getting teased. He was getting picked on. He was getting a call faggot. He was getting all this sort of stuff. And he was trying not to go out there and still try to protect Marvin by denying what he is or not accepting fully what he is at the time and hiding himself to protect Marvin, but yet he still get ridiculed and nobody was protecting him. So that will cause the hurt in Melvin. That would cause him to lash out. Sorry, excuse me. And that gave me the better understanding of why he the way he was, because he never felt that he was protected, and he was not getting the need that he get because he was always protecting Marvin. And now when it came for him to get his self-healing, his self-worth, it was all being overshadowed by Marvin selfishness, basically. So he just kind of felt guilty, and he also forgave Iyanla for no, yeah, because Iyanla said, "I did push you," and it wasn't tough. It was tough for him to push Melvin to the point that he needs to be uncomfortable to fight, because the more uncomfortable you are, sometimes the harder you push, but that would be the better result you get. Because if it's fall by easy, you will not learn. But when you push to your uncomfort zone, it will push you to fight harder, to learn, to heal better. So he do forgave. Iyanla said, "Forgive me for pushing you, but I want you to heal," and he understand that. So he forgave her, and he decided to calm down. And now we're gonna have a sit down with Melvin and Marvin. And now Melvin and Marvin had to sit down. Mostly it was mostly Marvin talking. But now we started getting more background of what Marvin was doing, and now Iyanla had her chance to help Melvin and also check Marvin for his selfishness, because Marvin said that he basically was telling Marvin, when before they was going around and people started knowing, he was telling Melvin to make sure we be friends, be cool, we friends, be not siblings, don't say anything, we brothers and like that. And also, please, not really be gay. It's like that. When we were around, it's like that. So, Melvin was doing that to protect Marvin because he wanted to help Marvin so he won't get ridiculed or that stuff like that. But when people started to realize they were siblings and stuff like that, it started coming out as the gayness. So when he finally came out being gay, accepting himself being gay, and Melvin came out being gay, they was in the gay community. And then the gay community started putting them against each other. One against each other. They brothers, but in Marvin's mind, once he got accepted, he was in the gay community. It was a whole little world, and the gay community is a whole little different things. There is definitely a whole little set of rules and stuff like that people do, and they judge. They put you against each other. They cattiness. They don't really support each other as much as you think they should. And much rights is a much thing as getting progressed to as more accepting within your own community is more damaging as well. Just like any other community, as a whole, we are good, but within, sometimes it's damaging. It's very damaging. So, so when they in the gay community, they were putting against each other. They were saying that Melvin was the ugly one, or Marvin was the urban one. He was a good looking one. He's more handsome. He's more good looking. He's better looking than Melvin, and that. And so it got to Marvin head that he was good. Like, he loved that. He all that stuff. And as everybody was going bashing and belittling Melvin, he never protected Melvin. He never said anything for Melvin. He never stuck up for Melvin. Because he was getting all the attention and he was liking that attention. So since he was liking it, he never really felt the need to help Melvin. Just like Melvin was helping him but protecting him and helping his feelings, he never he never reciprocated that. And because Melvin was doing that for him, he dismissed him. He dismissed him and he belittled Melvin for doing what he asked him to do. So that's very. I would get upset. I would get angry like that. I would be Melvin at that point where I would say, listen, I did all this for you. And when it came around, when acceptance and people coming after me, and I needed you to protect me as much as I protected you, you never was around. And you let these people did this to me. And you sat back and didn't say anything. You sat back, you enjoyed it. You sat back and didn't help me as much as I helped you. And I was denying myself, my freedom, my identity to all to lift you up. And when it turned around and I did that, you backfired on me and you shitted on me just like everybody else was doing. So you just did what everybody did to him, and you just added on and then make it worse because you his sibling. And that one made it worse. That one made it hard for Melvin, and that will make Melvin feel like he can't trust Melvin. That's why I see why they was going at it back and forth, because Marvin was being very selfish in an attempt to ask Melvin to do this for him, but yet turn around and think it debilitated him. Why? Because he did that for you, and that's wrong. That's wrong. Just like you get mad. It's like I'm asking for somebody for help. They help me and stuff like that. But yeah, when they needed something and they needed something from me, I just freaking just forgot about them. They say, "Oh well, do what you gotta do. I don't care." It's like dismiss them, but they did all that shit for me. But yeah, when when it's time to reciprocate, I can't do that for them, and that's damaging. So, and that's not good friendship. That's how relationship ends. That's how relationship breaks, because it's like a give or take. Marvin was getting receiving a lot of stuff from Melvin because Melvin felt guilty that he needed to do this for Marvin, but never took the chance. And also Marvin never took the chance to even talk to Melvin and see how did he feel. Because when Iyanla asked him, what if Melvin asked you to do that, what you asked him to do? He said, I would somewhat feel hurt about it. Alright, so you know he would probably feel hurt about that, but you still went along, act like everything was all peaches and cream. It's like what you would think, acting everything was good, because when you got a community, you start getting accepting, and people bending your brother, and you like that attention, so you just dismiss your brother. That was not right. So they say they talk about the day of the fight, and they got in a fight. Somebody hit, I think Melvin hit Marvin. Marvin, he got blood and he went downstairs, got a butter knife, went upstairs. I think he said a butcher knife, or butter knife, and went upstairs, and they were trying to fight. And he said he did that because it brought flashback of what he was going through when he would get sexually molested by the boys and being aggressive and getting beat and everything. So it took him back to that point, and he said realized it's like he didn't see Melvin as his brother now. He saw Melvin as a person who has been abusing him, as abuser. So it was going back and forth, and Melvin started getting aggressive towards Marvin because he never expressed his feelings, his hurt about what he was going through, protecting Marvin, and because he never felt that protection for him and felt diminished by Marvin, he became more aggressive, and that aggressive became the thing that he was trying to protect him from. So he became aggressive, or something that he was protecting Marvin from. The people who was aggressor. The people who have been molested Marvin would have been aggressive to Marvin. So he was probably protect Marvin from that aggressiveness. But now he became the aggressor towards Marvin for the same thing that he was trying to help Marvin from. So it became that little thing, like a cycle, like back and forth, and neither one of them was able to understand each other. Neither one of them was able to hear each other, because y'all was trying to fight to be right. Y'all were fighting, and y'all discussed to fight about the fight, discussed to talk about the fight. But neither one of y'all ever understand the underlying issues, the underlying hurt that y'all each was going through. And because y'all never understand that, y'all were just fighting and not coming to better understanding, because none of y'all didn't understand the underlying issues. So that was really clear. Until y'all understand each your underlying issues and your hurt, what caused this, then y'all would never get better understanding. And that's what needed to happen. And that's what Iyanla wanted to get there. It got to the bottom line that Melvin dismissed himself deny himself to protect Marvin. And Marvin was battling with his sexual identity and everything, and he didn't kind of accept who he was. And when he did get accepted, it just turned and flipped on his brother, and that's what caused attention. So they had to get that back together. So he request was, so basically they were both was not telling the truth. It was not telling the truth. They was not truthful with one another. He was not truthful with what he was requested. He was not truthful with how he was going to be. Melvin was not truthful for telling Marvin that it was hurting him for doing this for him. So they was not being honest. So, and what it is that the request, Melvin request to Marvin was that we need to do better. We need to grow and rebuild that relationship. Or I was not allowing myself to deny or sacrifice myself for you any longer. So we could have distance. So we could rebuild this relationship with us, or we could keep distance. But I'm not gonna sacrifice myself for you any longer. And they, Iyanla had them both hold their hands and talk and apologize towards one another. And he apologized for judging you, apologizing for kicking you to the curb, apologizing for not accepting you, allowing you, or asking you is those tremendous requests for you and accountability you after for doing that for me. And Melvin said he just apologized for trying to protect you, but at the same time ignoring himself. And he couldn't help you if he was not helping himself as well. So that's that. They hugged it out. That was good. And hopefully that they could get better terms with each other, and move forward. Because they the two youngest, they both have most similarities. They both have shared experience. So why not be together? Why can't help each other? Why this? Now they have the better understanding. They have their truth came out. They could come in terms. And now Marvin understands how Melvin was coming from and Melvin felt. All right. All right. So we get LaWanda and Kinsey. So LaWanda and Kinsey, and Kinsey was upset that her mother abandoned her, left her, didn't come back for her and everything. So she just felt that she didn't have a mother. Her mother was never there. And she wants that lost time with her mother, but she knows she can't really recover that lost time. So she needs to move forward and build a relationship with her mother now, instead of trying to be a mother that she was when she was young. And she can't get that. She's 40 years old. Now, we all know that Kinsey and LaWanda backgrounds kind of mirror each other. Like, they basically mirror each other. Like, she was so mad at her mother that she became her mother, at the point that Kinsey don't even have her own kids. And it's still a mystery, but she did say she abandoned her kids, just like her mother abandoned her. So it's like you repeating the same cycle, and you angry at your mother, but you still doing the same thing that your mother did to you, to your own kids, and you don't have your two kids now. So we get the story because Kinsey don't even know her mother's story. LaWanda came, she finally told her story about how her mother reminded Kinsey's grandmother was the love of the man that she couldn't have, and the man and LaWanda reminded her of the man that left her. So she basically didn't love LaWanda, didn't kiss LaWanda, didn't hug LaWanda, give her no conditional love, unconditional love that she needed from a mother to a daughter. So, and that is that she treated her as an enemy because she's a product of the man that left her. And that's so sad, like I said in my last video, that you would treat your child because the person that you was supposed to with left you. It's not the child's fault. It's the person who left you is the fault. You can take your anger out of him, not the child. Since the child was collateral damage, she did it to her thing and put on a cold water after she beat her. I said that's things like you wet them after you beat them, like with extension cords and tie them up. They can't leave. They got whelps and stuff in their bodies, stuff. So she said, after you said all that, how could it come that the mother got Kinsey? Kinsey said, well, she was told that her mother and father was on drugs. So the grandma asked Kinsey's mother, can she have Kinsey? And the mother said, okay. And that's how it was. I said, that was that simple. So that's like story doesn't sound right. Like, okay, she told you this, but did you really believe it? I guess she did believe it because she believed what everything her grandma said because she felt really bad about her mother. So why she wouldn't believe that? But LaMonda said that's a different story. She said she was going. She was pregnant in Kansas City. She was in Kansas City. Her mother called her and told her to come up to have the baby where she was at. She said, "Okay, cool." You got there. Um, being born. The mother wanted kids and like that. The mother, Kizzy, LaWanda didn't want to give Kizzy away, so like that. She would go back. But as she was trying to go back to her own place, the mother started getting erratic. She was starting getting hostile. She was trying to get at LaWanda. LaWanda was holding her hand, and she said, "Oh, you trying to do something to me?" She said, "I would never hit you," and everything. So she left. But then when she left with Kizzy, she had Kizzy at the time. The Kizzy mother, grandmother, called LaWanda and said, "Listen, the doctor said I will have a heart attack if I don't have Kizzy in my life, all like that." So she said, "Okay, cool." The mother came that same day. They got trying to get Kizzy and all that stuff like that. And using manipulations, tactics, threat, and fear to get Kizzy from LaWanda. So she basically took Kizzy and she was trying to say, if you take Kizzy, I will call the police. I have documentations on you, all that stuff like that. Because LaWanda revealed that she did not get on drugs until after Melvin was born. I mean, she did say throughout the time she was on drugs. She was a drug addict and everything. But she said she didn't get on it until after Melvin was born. So what happened to all the kids before then? Like, if you wasn't on drugs, what led you to believe? So that means what happened? You banned it on your other kids because the grandmother didn't raise the other kids. She only raised Kizzy. And the father raised the other kids. But if he was around, I guess because he was around, but still, he was still part of the breakdown with the family. But she said she never got on drugs. And it seemed like that grandma was something else. So she would say she was teaching on programming Kizzy to treat or to act a certain way when she around. She was trying to intervene since though Kizzy and LaWanda would not have a bond. And Kizzy started to remember things because she started breaking out. She said, I remember in grade school when my grandma told me that when you see your mother around, kick, scream, yell, bite, so you go attention yourself, so they go follow you and say, listen, this girl can't be with you. So what is you? You somebody. She can't be with you. You scare her. So and school will take that really seriously when they see the kids kicking and screaming something like that towards the parent. It's like that. They will take the child away and say, listen, and start calling social services real quick. So basically the grandma was programming Kizzy to act against her own mother and they want her Kizzy around. So like that. Because she was breaking down. Now, Kizzy did say that her grandma was beating her too. That sometimes when she go to the gym, she can't wear certain clothes because she will reveal the whips and stuff like that. And LaWanda was starting acting like, oh, basically diminished her spirits because, oh, I didn't see what she did that to you. I'm not saying she didn't beat you. I'm not saying that. But what I have seen, I see her hug you. I see her love you. I see they didn't beat you in front of me. I saw like that. So I should say. So I said, would you say going by saying all that to her? What you was accomplished by saying all that stuff to her? And nothing, because she said you basically trying to diminish her experience because you didn't see nothing like that going on. Just understand, y'all both had similar experiences, and y'all both had shared experience with this one common denominator, which is the mother, Kizzy grandmother. And it seemed like she was telling y'all apart in between because she couldn't have what she wanted in the long term, was the guy that she always wanted. So she punished LaWanda through Kizzy. So Kizzy was not, LaWanda was not mad at Kizzy because of that. She's mad at her own mother. And now Kizzy started to realize that she knows the story now, and she just wanted her mother to be a friend. Just be a friend and be there. And she apologized with respect to her. She apologized because she didn't know the story. She apologized for allowing this to happen. and let's move forward. And she banned her kids. She just like you. So the mother says, so you can't judge me and down me if you becoming like me. And that is true. It is very true. So they hug it out, and then hopefully they will get better. Now it ended about a mousetrap analogy that as one is triggered, it triggered everybody else. So to break that, you had to break down that discord, the anger, the emotions, the negative experiences, and stuff like that. And the past is the past, and let it go and free yourself and heal. Help each other, bond with each other, help each other out. Do not diminish each other. Do not break down. Don't abandon each other. Connect as a family, and that's what you need to do. So as that, you need to start peeling down all the stuff out of Lawanda. Lawanda got to start peeling all the stuff out of her, so she'll be able to be there for her. Because at the pin of the when Iyanla did the pin, the problem of the donkey, everything was on Lawanda because she planted a seed in each one of the children. So start taking them stuff out of her. She'll be able to have an understanding, and it will better help build the foundation of her family getting together and stuff. So some of the stuff was like, what can you get LaWanda off the hook? Because some of the pins was basically on LaWanda, but some of the kids put that stuff on her too. So they said they take away the not trying, they take away bringing the hurt to the family, to the group, abandonment, anger, guilt, emotional dishonesty, and stuff like that, and disrespect. And all that can be taken away. If you start taking away that stuff, it will get lighter, it will get helping, it will help the situation. So express your feelings, show up for each other, and help each other, and learn to be better as adults. You're not foster kids anymore. You're not little kids anymore. You're not what you was. You're not your past experience. Your past experience will make you. It help you live, but it doesn't define you. So as you go along, just work on each other and be better, because you can't come back here. Get the tools to work on yourself. You got to keep practicing and once you keep practicing it, it will get better. So I hope the Mitchell family does well. I hope very best for them. I didn't get the updates at the end. Maybe I will get it when I watch Two Happen to Hold. That will be my next review, and I can't wait to see you next week to Iyanla Fix My Life. Talk to you all later. Mwah.